My name's Randy Orton, and I've been a WWE superstar for a little over a decade now. To be able to say I've starred in a movie, holy smokes, I'm not only in a movie, but I'm starring in a movie. Like, that's the biggest thing for me.
I looked him up and I was like, okay. He's really big and muscular.
My 13-year-old is a huge fan. Guy looks like he's made of steel.
His presence is very dominating, but his character and his personality is not what I expected at all. He's funny and he's kind of a goofball.
Nice done, Nick. So I don't think you're making too many friends today.
Who needs friends when I have you?
Working with Randy as an actor in his first real lead action movie, I thought it would be kind of challenging, but it wasn't. It was very easy to work with him. He likes his job, so he really wants to do a good job. He wants to do the best thing possible, and so he goes for it. I trust him, he trusts me, so that's the perfect balance to work with each other.
Action!
As far as the director of this film, I got very lucky. Not only because he's an action guy, loves action, and spends lots of time on it, and knows what he wants.
Yeah, a little bit more blood.
But he's willing to get his hands dirty. He's down there on the ground with the rain falling on me, and he's soaking wet, and it's 3 a.m., and it's freezing, you know, and he's right there by my side.
I like guerrilla filmmaking, you know, that's the only way to do these movies.
I will shoot in the meanwhile.
You know, I like to be the painter, I like to have the brush in my hand and follow with the camera the actors. I want to be as a participant in the movie, so what I want to see, I point the camera to there.
Why do I do this stuff? 3, 2, 1, bang!
Doing casting, I saw a lot of local actors. And Tommy came by and he was really like, there's so much energy in the room. He was very funny, but also when he had to do this scene, what was very an emotional scene, he was crying and he was going all the way. And I was really impressed with his ability.
It was an accident. It was a mistake. The worst mistake of my life. I didn't do it on purpose, okay?
Is that right?
My reaction when I heard I was going to work with Randy Orton was pretty much just like, I was excited.
Randy and Tom have actually grown quite close. I think they've kind of grown into like some really cool buddies.
Come lift this up.
We're on set joking with each other all the time.
You don't have to run that far, brother. We're beating on each other and telling jokes. It's like being in the locker room, really.
Oh, you got blood on my hands. That's spit blood, too.
Spit blood.
The chemistry between Tommy and Randy is really good, you know. They're like two brothers.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
I roll camera and go! And they bring that energy into the scene.
I wanted to have a scene where I punched him in the chest.
Randy, pound!
I just wanted to punch him. I wanted to see like what he was made, because he's a big dude. I wanted to have something where I got to hit him.
They're so physically different, but I think mentally and their personalities are rather similar.
I'm one lucky guy.
Yeah, you are. I play Sarah Malloy, Nick Malloy's wife. We are a married couple. We've been together for several years, and we're very happy.
Sounds good to me.
If you have two characters that are in love with each other and they are married with each other, to have that spark working, it's a hit or miss.
The day before the first table read, I went out to dinner with Rule and Cindy Busby.
Roll just thought it was really important for us to kind of go on a little date before we started shooting so that we can develop some chemistry and get to know each other. You loved it!
I loved it, come on. You just like basically interviewed us, and it was all off the top of our heads.
But they were telling their first dates, when they first kiss each other.
He's asking us all these questions. You know, what do you hate about her? Really hard questions. Sarah, where are the rest of my work shirts? Toothpaste stain on this one. Wonder how that got there.
We just developed our backgrounds, our present situation.
I was answering quick, she was answering quick, and it became fun, and it was like almost became kind of like a game.
Roll told us that he wanted us to have another drink and that he was going to leave us. And he wanted us to continue building this chemistry and this friendship, relationship.
We just got to know each other, but it really, really helped.
There's really kind of a respect and a feeling for each other. So they had already some kind of link to each other that they really liked about each other, what attracted to each other, and we could work with that.
Sarah!
I gave them a little secret, and that's something I told them just the day before shooting. And I told them that she was pregnant, and that she is like 2 months pregnant, that nobody knows it. They didn't tell anybody yet because they want to wait for the 3-month moment.
I'm gonna hurt, and you're gonna watch.
When he knows that Sarah is kind of in danger, it's not only Sarah is in danger, but also the unborn child is in danger. And I know Randy is a dad, so that's something what really will trigger his emotional feeling. So a lot of times I tell them, think about the secret, feel the secret, go with the secret, and then they know where to go.
After the big fireball, we were just obviously in shock and kind of scared because there's an explosion. That's kind of their moment of salvation where they realize that they're still together, that they made it, and they end it with a really nice kiss.
And cut. Cutting. And cutting, guys.
Sorry, we're just gonna keep doing this all night.
Okay, we go again.
I think there's one thing that Randy doesn't like, is running.
Lots of running.
I make him run so much in this movie.
We've been running everywhere, from parking lots, up and down hills, lots of stairs.
I see him looking when I say cut, and I see him looking, and then I go again, and then I see his face like, oh, okay, there we go again, and he goes again.
After the first day, I thought we got all the right variables to make a great action movie.
Okay.
I'm fine. Are you okay? Even though it's hard work, it is so much fun.
He's able, obviously, to bring the action and the fighting and the thriller aspect of the movie, but he also has what I think Arnold Schwarzenegger and The Rock have, is a really good sense of humor.
Really?
The fact that he does have that is definitely to his advantage.
This movie should be the start of Randy Orton's film career.
The stuff they got me doing, I never would have thought in a million years they'd have me doing it. There's fighting, there's driving, there's explosions, action, action, action.
The action in this movie is very fast, and it's very gritty.
Freeze! Fighting for this movie is something completely different than fighting in the ring.
Just like if you were gonna do a dance recital, there's moves that you have to know. A fella named Dan Rizzuto was in charge of the fight sequences, and he really knows his stuff.
I'm Dan Rizzuto, and we're here working with Randy Orton on some fight scenes.
They're gonna make me a ninja. Smooth, stealth. Let's go do it, man. What do you say?
He's an absolute dream to work with.
I was able to put a kick right here, or put a punch right there and barely touch him. The first night, we spent like 6 hours on the fight where I fought the two cops. I came up with a couple things. I punched him in the belly, pick him up, suplex him on the front of the car, and that was all me. It was cool to hear that they were happy with my performance and that it was a different thing for them to see someone starring in a movie being willing enough to do all these stunts. That scene in the ambulance, I was given some training on how to take your blood pressure, how to start an IV, how to check pupils for dilation.
He had to go into the ambulance and like figure things out. This is your home, this is where you spend most of your time, and that's what he had to do.
I wanted to have him drive, so I told Owen, our stunt coordinator, to do like a test drive with him and see how his driving ability was.
When we got started, they asked me how comfortable I was behind the wheel. And my friends don't like when I drive, so I think I'll be great for what you need me for. Well, I was doing 180s while I was doing the training.
There you go, good man.
He just had a big smile from ear to ear.
We'll have this one sequence where he's driving the car and I'm in the back seat with the camera And Randy is smashing his car to cop cars really hard and loud.
I hit a couple cars I wasn't supposed to. It's like, oops, you know, we stopped. Rule said cut. I got out of the car. I was like, Rule, I'm sorry, you know, I didn't. And he goes, no, are you kidding me? That was great. I got every angle. Oh, it's great. It's perfect.
It's very cool.
He said he could barely use any of the footage because I had a big smile on my face the whole time.
The entire crew were very impressed with Randy sliding the car 180, driving at high speed, crashing into other vehicles.
I love my job.
We shot the opening scene of the movie when everything really gets dirty.
The cars would supposedly roll, so that's why we were doing a little bit of banging of the cars.
These are real cars that have just been dropped by a front loader.
We got this forklift here. We're gonna tumble them, smash them up as much as we can, and have one upside down and one on its driver's door.
We've decided that we're going to be doing this in the rain tonight.
You cannot predict rain.
Wish you were here, all of you. You've got the streets wet down, so there's that sort of noir thing about it. It's a pretty amazing setup, hey? I mean, it's very, very easy to suspend your disbelief when there's broken glass and real paramedics and cops around.
I thought at first all these firemen, all these policemen, paramedics, they're all actors. Turned out all the firemen and all the paramedics were local firemen and paramedics.
We're hired out to play firefighters in shows and movies. We get called out every so often, and it's a pretty good gig.
Who doesn't like a man in a uniform, right?
In this scene, we have a woman trapped in the front seat there. We're going to be using those tools there, the Homatro Jaws of Life. They can cut just about anything.
I got to see Jaws of Life pry a car open less than a foot away from the whole thing.
So this is a SWAT attack. They feel they found Heller. Freeze, police!
Without the SWAT guys around us in the background, it just like intensifies the moment. It makes it feel much more real. And your heart rate goes up when you got like 10, 12 guys around you.
Put the weapon down!
Our judge character tonight did a phenomenal job. 70 years of age, and we squibbed him.
There was quite a lot of force, more than I expected, but not exorbitant at all. It was a lot of fun.
I like fireballs and explosions, but when you put actors in it, you cannot do that with fire.
We have these big tanks that we compress air, and we put a bunch of light debris in it, mostly cork and foam and dust.
And then we'll just blow it right in their faces.
Yeah, this is happening. It's just like a huge pound just hit me in the chest. Just boom. It was crazy. Never been hit with a cannon of air before. It was good.
Very brave.
It was good.
Nick, come on. Nick!
Hey, welcome back, Nick. Just in time for the final round.
Near the end of the movie, and Randy Orton is in the back, stuffed to this car, and our killer is kind of driving them to death. I feel you have to be claustrophobic. You have to be in the car with the three characters, and it's not about big scope anymore.
It's confined to an SUV, so it's different, it's tough.
What would you have done to save your wife's life?
Anything.
Exactly.
We have a fight scene in a car while I'm driving. I'm driving and choking him, and he's kicking me, and there's gunplay inside the car. I've never seen anything like it before.
Randy gets the gun, and he shoots off the hinges of the SUV, and he snaps the seat in half so it goes flat.
Reading that part of the script, you know, I wondered to myself, how are we going to do this? How are we going to fall out the back of this car?
They added a little section to the SUV where they put a mat down, and we just rolled out on a mat instead while the car was driving.
We have a shell of a car. It has no engine in it anymore.
We put sand cannons in so that we can make the doors pop off, and a sand cannon to make the roof peel back. Prepared jugs of gasoline in there so that we can have a nice fireball. This is the danger zone because we're going to punch the doors off and peel the roof. The doors are cabled with heavy-duty cable. Rolling.
I'm going to be with Randy in the shot with the explosion, and so we'll see Randy in the foreground, we'll see the explosion in the background, and then we'll go into the scene while the car is still burning and continue the scene. I will be handheld behind Randy.
The stuff I've done is some of the most fun I've had doing anything.
If you want to make an action movie, I try to make it as real as possible. My first meeting with Randy, I told him, I don't want you to act, I want you to react. We will create a world, and we will create a chase or an action scene or a fight, and you will react to it, because it's going to be real. I must say, I never have a favorite scene when I shoot movies. For me, every scene has to be unique by itself. It has to be a really cool shot within the scene. It has to be driven, it has to tell the story.
That's right, Nick, I'm watching you. From this moment on, everything you do.
It's this technological masterpiece that has been set up in the catacombs of some unspecified urban setting. He's got eyes everywhere in the city. He can monitor your cell phone. He can change traffic lights. It really is ground zero for cutting-edge technology. You didn't really think it was going to be that easy, did you?
We are in Heller's Lair.
Heller's Lair is in the basement of Riverview.
In Vancouver, there's this beautiful place. It's called Riverview. And Riverview is this very old, creepy kind of mental hospital.
This location was chosen just because of its dirty, gritty, underground kind of feel.
And you go up to the 4th floor and you walk around and you see these sections of rooms with these tiny walls around them where you knew children's beds were, and it just is uncomfortable. You feel the seizing in your chest. And then you walk down this hallway and it lights up.
It's like Phantom of the Opera or something. It has this sort of subterranean feel to it. I was really surprised when I saw it and excited to get in there and play. Come on!
Action.
Hello, Nick.
We originally started with him at a desk.
I expected to be sitting down at a bank of computers.
Then it progressed into this tunnel with everything just on the wall and really simple. We have 5 identical monitors on the right and 6 identical monitors on the left. And they projected the images that Heller had at the cameras that he had all over the city.
What he's done is he's set up a series of photographs and press clippings that are illuminated on glass backgrounds.
We've had special effects filled the ground with water.
It feels like one big mirror where he walks through it.
We've had paint department, put a gloss paint on the walls to make it look more wet.
It was a beautiful location.
Just killed an innocent kid.
Oh, please. Can we agree to disagree on that point?
When we shot it, it really was just me. There's no other player. The player is me, the monitors, and these little characters, the photographs of them that float around. So it is a weirdly isolated setting.
Yeah, it feels like you're in it, so it's good.
Okay, good.
The bad guys that affect me are the ones that challenge my empathy.
I lost everything, Nick.
It's easy to twist your mustache. I think it's a lot more difficult to ground yourself in a reality where an audience member might sit back and say, that guy's a psychopath, but I understand where he's coming from. And I like playing those guys.
You've got about 90 seconds before
our dear governor meets his sweet end.
I wanted to have a cool way of having him killed, so I said to the local scouts, get me some unique locations. So they came with this sugar factory.
We're at the Rogers Sugar Refinery. It's in Vancouver, British Columbia.
It is a real sugar refinery. It was found in 1890.
The main location is Guatemala. That's where we've been buying most of our sugar from.
We're standing on top of the pan house, which is where we actually boil sugar and take it back into a crystalline state.
It takes about 7 to 10 days to offload the sugar from the ship on a series of conveyor systems to raw sugar shed number 1, which is where the governor is being slowly killed.
When I look behind me and I see a mountain of sugar, I really don't know what to expect. I'm sitting here in anticipation.
It's freaky. It's really, really huge.
It looks like some kind of mountain.
I don't even know how big it is, but it's massive.
There's 24,000 tons of sugar in the raw sugar shed.
In this building, there's a conveyor belt, but it's way up there, way up in the roof.
Welcome to round 8.
And it's not really practical to go up there and shovel sugar on this actual belt that they use. I wanted to have a way that we could just get low over the actor's head, so we're not dumping it from a great height, because it could probably end up hurting, you know what I mean? So we wanted to be low enough that we could just be out of the shot and it wouldn't be coming from a great height, and we wanted to be controllable. We got a big Skytrack lift, which is like a giant forklift, and we rented a material handling conveyor belt, and we built a deck and we mounted it to this forklift thing, and we were up there shoveling it.
Action!
And the reason that it looked good is because it was real. Like we were actually just dumping sugar all over this guy. And he was pretty tolerant because it wasn't very nice.
It's a good bit of pressure. Yeah. You know, it actually does feel like it. Being buried alive.
Nick! Nick, come on, please!
We buried the actor totally at first, and he was cool for a couple hours, but then it was starting to get to him, so we changed it up. We rigged a barrel around him, just had all the sugar around him build up so that it did not actually start any pressure whatsoever on his body.
Sebastian, there's 30 of us all looking at you. Okay. We're going to take you out, no problem.
Action! Hold on! Hold on! Jack! Jack, come on!
Make sure he can breathe.
It felt how it looks. Icky. Kind of icky. Not very much fun. But of course, that's what's going on in the movie, so but there's no acting involved.
It was all in our clothes and our boots.
Everything sticks.
It was raining that night too, so there's puddles everywhere, and you know, it was just a big sticky mess, really.
It's almost like a molasses.
So it's a hell to work in, but then it looks real, because it is real.
Sebastian, ready for coffee?
Yeah.
With some brown sugar?
No.
No?
Well, what is cool, we never saw this, you know. For me, we need to make the movies unique, and this is something I had never seen before. I never seen somebody being buried in sugar.